Hello everyone. Before we get into our video, I thought we could just do a deep breath together, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And just relax and come into today's video with an open, peaceful mind. So, I had a phone call with someone today, and one thing that they emphasized with me is they didn't know where to start. And I know a lot of you guys feel that way. I felt that way when I was bedbound. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't quite know how to heal myself. I didn't know how to fix my body, and it was essentially going haywire, right? And I know a lot of you guys too have felt so overwhelmed by healing, by regulating your nervous system, by getting better, that you don't even know where to start. And that's kind of the point. It sounds silly, but it is. It's true. Sometimes it doesn't start with doing something. Sometimes it starts with being, okay? So one thing that I think a lot of us get stuck in today's modern world, not just wellness, but our modern society in general, is that we're always trying to do something, do more, make more, have more routines, more money, more work, more supplements, more to-do lists, more events, just produce, consume more of everything, right? And what's interesting to me is that this can generate a fight or flight state, but it can also come from a fight or flight state. So your nervous system is essentially equating stillness with danger. And so when you're still, it will trigger that fight or flight mode and be like, we have to do more. We have to do something. We have to solve a problem. We have to fix it. We have to, take more supplements. We have to do more exercise. We have to change our diet more. And if you've been someone who's stuck in that survival mode for years and years, that stillness feels unsafe. It's a trigger for your nervous system for that flight or fight mode. And as I always try to reassure you guys, it's not because you're lazy. It's not because you're broken. It's not a personality flaw. It's not who you are. It is your body trying to protect you, which sucks in the moment. I know, because I've been there. But that's what our bodies were designed to do. And it's a very beautiful thing when it works because it's so effective, right? So let's talk about the shift from doing to being. So what does being even mean? Being is allowing your body to exist without demand or judgment. So if you sit down and you're trying to find that stillness, whether it's through prayer, meditation, journaling, there may be symptoms that come up. There may be thoughts, feelings that come up. And that's okay if they come up. The point is not to stifle them or to judge them or to demand them to leave. The point is to exist and just kind of see them fly by. Oh, okay. Oh, there's some shame. Okay. Hi, shame. Oh, there's some depression. Hi, depression. Oh, there's something else to add to my to-do list. Okay, hi there. You know what I mean? It's not about hyperfixating on them and trying to solve them in that moment as though they are the biggest problem. Think about if you're walking in a park and you've got your dog on a leash and something scares your dog. All of a sudden, it starts to kind of hunker down. It gets really small. It doesn't want to move. And it's like dead weight. Are you going to drag the dog on a leash for miles through the park or a trail, whatever you're on? No. Right? We don't do that. Okay? That's not going to make it move. We can't force it to move. That's just going to scare it more. Right? And it's the same with our nervous system. So what do? We sit with it, gently, reassured that it's okay, that it's safe. And once it realizes it's safe, it's okay and it's ready to walk again. It's the same with our nervous systems. So we have to remember safety is going to precede action. We have to show our nervous system that it's safe before we can start taking healthy steps. So again, for me, when I was bedbound with a bunch of supplements, I had to pause, work on my nervous system regulation, get my nervous system to where it was able to shift into that healing mode, and then start reincorporating those supplements. So once your body starts to feel safe, that clarity and that action will naturally follow. You'll start to naturally know what to do next, okay? Now, in the program that I'm currently building, the first pillar is about safety and calm. And I truly believe that this is the absolute foundation of all healing. And in this pillar, you learn how to shift your body out of that chronic survival mode. And that can be through breath work, through somatic exercises, through neuroscience-based tools that create that sense of safety. So you have to feel safe because your nervous system doesn't necessarily speak the language that you think it does, right? So, we can't always just think our way out of something or think our way into peace. Our body has to feel it first. That's why, like when I was talking about, if you sit down and meditate or you pray and those intrusive thoughts or those symptoms start to come up, you can't say go away and they go away. Normally, you hyperfixate on them, you hyperfocus on them and tell them to go away. What do? They magnify and they're like, no, I'm going to resist. And then they start to get louder and louder and louder. So when you breathe through it and let them go, that's usually when they go. It might take them some time, but they do leave on their own. So I know that I have a really long video on this because I could rant about this whole topic for way too long than anyone cares to hear. However, I do have a video that talks about why your body can't heal until it feels safe. So if you want to check that out and get some more information, you definitely can. I'll try to remember to link it below. But you have to understand your nervous system is going to prioritize survival over anything else, over what you want, over what you think you need, what you desire, your goals, your dreams, your hopes, your fears, growth, anything, your job, your family, everything else. So your vagus nerve and your stress hormones are going to keep you in high alert. What does that do? That turns off the part of the brain that is designed for planning and motivation because it shuts down under stress. So what does that mean? That means you can't plan. That means you don't feel motivated. You've got a lot of brain fog. You don't want to do anything. You're exhausted. You're depressed. You probably have bouts of anger or sadness. You have an endless to-do list that just doesn't get done, but you keep adding more and more and more to it. Maybe sometimes you even hyperfixate on planning and over planning because planning can be a form of procrastination, right? So if you can't take action, one thing that you have to understand is it's not a lack of motivation. It's not a lack of willpower. It is biology. And once you understand that it's not your fault, it's your body doing what it was designed to do, that awareness can be very relieving, right? Because it takes a weight off of you because it's not your fault, right? And then we need to get curious about it. So your first step isn't always to act. It's to signal to the body that you are safe. And that signal can look different for everyone, which is why I do encourage working with someone one-on-one. If you want to work with me, I do have that available, but you can work with anyone. Just find someone that fits you, that fits your situation, because you don't have to do it alone. And it can be more stressful to do it alone. So how do you signal that safety to your nervous system? Let's talk about a few entry points. First is breath work. There are so many different types of breath work. If you are in a very overwhelmed survival mode state, I wouldn't do a lot of really heavy, fast-paced type of breathing exercises. I would look more towards alternate nostril breathing, physiological sigh, or just generally sitting still and focusing on your breath, not forcing it to change, just focusing on it. That's it, right? That's the simplest thing you can do. Just close your eyes and focus on it. Don't change it. Just see how it is and accept it. That's okay. It is what it is, right? You can also kind of name things, right? Name what's there. So right now I feel this way. Right now I feel anxious. Right now I feel palpitations. Right now I feel stressed. Right now I feel overwhelmed. Right now I feel tingling in my hands or my feet, whatever it is. Acknowledge it. Don't worry about fixing it. Acknowledge it. Okay? And then softening your surroundings. In that really long video, I do talk a lot about changing your environment, even in simple ways, right? Because when we change our parts of our environment, which we cannot always change, but there are some parts of our environment that we can change that can help to kind of downshift from that survival mode, right? So we can maybe change our light bulbs into something warmer, or put a blue light filter on the phone, on a computer, on a tablet, whatever you spend your most amount of time on, or dimming the lights an hour before bed. Just placing your hand on your heart, your hand on your belly each day and just taking a few breaths or focusing on your breaths, right? These can seem so simple, but they're sending signals to your body that you are safe to exist. Because when you're stuck in that survival mode for years, your body doesn't even think it's safe to just exist, right? That's what's happening when you have no peace, when you have not a single moment or a single place where you feel like you're okay and you're constantly overwhelmed. That's because your body doesn't feel like it's safe to exist. So, what if the first step wasn't to fix yourself, but to be kind to and befriend your body and your nervous system? Your peace does not have to come from doing. Doesn't have to come from doing more, being more, achieving more, getting more things checked off a to-do list. It comes from learning that you do not have to earn peace. So you don't necessarily start by changing not changing everything, right? You start by creating safety. And then once that safety is created, which we don't have to go hard and have 100% safe feeling, right? We just have to start getting those feelings of safety. Once we get that baseline of safety established, start to make some gentle changes, right? To get to where you want to go. That being said, I'm super excited because we are getting ready to launch our 30-day soft nervous system reset. And it is all about that safety and calm. It's all about retraining your body to feel safe again so that that real healing can begin. And I will make sure to link that below for you guys. You are free to check that out. Message me if you have any questions. You can just drop it in the comments. You can hop over on our Discord, email me, whichever you prefer. And I hope this has been beneficial for you, and we will see you guys later.